Welcome back, everybody. It's another week of your favorite new video podcast or video live stream, Fantasy Suckers. It's your boy, it's Johnny, and with my favorite fantasy expert, the Drunken Master Boxhead.
Favorite.
Yeah, because all the other people, they're just trying to come up with weird takes to shock people. And, it's all... I don't like fabrication. We're real.
You mean you don't want me to channel my inner Skip Bayless or Cow and Cowherd on this podcast?
No. I mean, this is exactly.
I absolutely can't stand neither of those guys. So
I know you can't, but they are entertaining, and they just take hard stances on things, which might be say it. We become our own version. I'm gonna start talking like Stephen A. And it was on how I say it's deplorable. It's all these nonsense. But we are in week 14.
Yes, sir. We are in week 14.
Hey,
we got one more. Look. We got one more week of fantasy football before the playoffs hits. And I'm so sorry for putting a dent in your playoff hopes.
Oh, really? I don't. Some things gonna have to fall for me, sir.
I have no shot, but.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm gonna put other dents in other people's fantasy hopes. All right.
Yeah. You shot me in both legs, and hopefully I would need to crawl somehow and have a lot of luck.
Where were all those points those previous weeks?
I mean, well, as you said, you maybe you jinxed yourself. You're like, I always put in the wrong people, and this week you put in the right people and fucked me over. My guys didn't look. My team didn't perform. Also, I can't Derrick Henry can't keep putting up 4 or 5 points. And if you're somebody that had Derrick Henry, and for me, it's just I'm just completely capped. I have Henry, I have Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's out, and then Henry's not doing anything. So I know a lot of fantasy owners are frustrated with the output that Derrick Henry's having, especially as we're going. But usually, what goes on is he gets stronger as the year progresses.
And that is true.
As it gets colder, it's a little bit harder to hit Derrick Henry. So I mean, you gotta live out hope. I just wish you would give me a little extra points to. I mean, you had so many points this week. It'd been hard for me to catch up. But
hey, man, that Browns defense was a last second ad, and I'm really happy that I did it.
Wow, yeah.
Because Kyle Allen is a bum, man. He's a turnover machine, and I figured with Deshaun coming back to Houston that it would be a fun game to watch. And with my team being on bye, that was the one game I did watch last week.
I mean, little did you know that they would have one of the better statistical games for defense in the entire for the entire year. Good for me.
So
I also made a lot of
we get to both play spoiler. So
I mean, I still do have a chance, but yeah, I would me and playing
all the
Johnny,
dominoes to fall.
Not all
those dominoes to fall.
Not all the dominoes. It's like it's basically if it's one team to lose, like if Debo or the Dobbs, I have
that's who I'm playing.
Yeah, so if you beat him and I win, I should take my spot back over him because I was ahead of him before the loss.
Okay.
So I was ahead of him in the whatever the stats of the division, whatever that nonsense.
You relying on me.
I'm relying on you to win this week, so I will root for you. You whoop my ass. If I had won, I'll have my own destiny. If I won and then won this week, next week or whatever, I would, just be in. But now it's I need a few things to fall for me. But crazier things have happened. But hey, look, I can't even really make any noise. My team is not. They
have this percentage thing on ESPN where it gives you in a column in the standings percentage or playoff percentage chance. I didn't notice that, but I'm looking at it and it says
yeah. What's mine now?
You are at 10%.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm done. I was at 60% a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
I think you also need Appleseed to lose.
Yeah, but I got to beat him. I'm playing him.
Oh, you're playing him? Oh, so you got a shot then.
Yeah.
So I have to beat Debo, and you have to beat Appleseed.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I'm
there's two
saying.
Johnnies in our league, so I had to get I was getting confused on which Johnny.
Yeah. Ventura's out.
Well, there's three Johnnies in our league, including you.
Yeah, well, that is true. It's Johnny. But it's Johnny on everything. It's Johnny reacts. It's Johnny that raps. It's Johnny that talks. It's Johnny that podcasts. It's Johnny that might fuck your bit over. But all right. So week 14. Another new injury. Jimmy Garoppolo goes down. Does that really nerf any of the skill positions for the 49ers? What do you think? What's your opinion?
It doesn't. Well, there's two guys on the team that it doesn't necessarily nerf. Oh, at least one guaranteed that it doesn't nerf at all. I think from this point on, Christian McCaffrey is definitely buffed in this aspect because he's a good safety blanket for a young quarterback. Brock Purdy came in last week and he looked, decent.
Looks decent. Like
he looked like what Jimmy Garoppolo could do anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about San Francisco's offense in that aspect. He's got a lot of weapons, and he's in the NFL for a reason, and he looked semi-decent last week. And he's facing off against Tampa Bay this week. Who I'm so mad on Monday Night Football came back in the last 4 minutes to win that game.
Yeah, it was vintage Tom, vintage
Tom goat right there.
Yeah,
vintage goat. But that Tampa Bay defense is not great.
No.
So
it's not good. But against them, it could be they could have a decent game. I actually think that the Bucs could actually win that game.
No, for sure they can win the game. Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't. But San Francisco's defense is going to really need to pull out all the stops to help their rookie quarterback out, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And it would just be funny to have It would be funny to have Mr. Irrelevant beat Tom Brady, who was like,
yeah, it would be
the one of the latest drafted quarterbacks ever start. But as you can see, like
breaking news, Brock Purdy is a new GOAT, and the 49ers have traded away Trey Lance to I don't know, Green Bay for
how about the Panthers? Picks. How about the Panthers? Huh?
Oh, we can do that too. I would take them.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows you to me like Trey Lance wasn't playing very good in the beginning of the season, but it was his first starting. People like try to compare it to everybody. Like Joe Burrow came out awesome, and Patrick Mahomes, who Saturday when he came in, he was great. But it might have taken a few weeks. Like Tua was very, very good last year. He started playing a lot better this year.
Mm-hmm.
So Trey Lance, like you can just see
there's not enough dynamic. There's not enough tape yet.
Yeah, think about.
I want to see him play so bad.
Just think about if Justin Fields was on the 49ers. That's kind of how it would be. Trey Lance is that athletic. It'll be like that. Like not a great thrower, not the greatest decision maker, but athletic. And with those other pieces, 49ers would be absolutely scary. And I hear that they might try to get Baker Mayfield.
Baker got signed.
Oh, where did he get signed? I'm sorry, that happened earlier today.
The only team that picked him up was the Rams. The only team that put in a waiver claim.
Really?
Yeah,
that's fine. Well,
so and they said that he actually might start tomorrow night against the Raiders. Which,
wow. Well, we'll see if he can get any of the playbook down. But I was saying with Brock Purdy or whatever, and any of the quarterbacks is that. Similar to say the Cowboys with Cooper Rush is in there, their system is the whole system. They're going to be good regardless of the quarterback. Like the whole team is good. So that's what I want. For the Commanders, for the Redskins. When they that's how they won. People are like, oh, Taylor Heineke, how are we going to do with him? Like the Redskins won all three of the Super Bowls with three different quarterbacks. So they had a great team around it. It didn't matter who the quarterback was. They had good wide receivers, running backs, and a good defense. Mm-hmm. And one of the best lines, and it didn't matter who was in there. Unlike the Colts keep thinking if we bring in some new, some guy, there's a little bit of juice, he could put us over the hill. No. Like there, it's something to having a prolific type of offense. So I give it up for Shanahan, for them being able to do that. At the same time, his best friend, they beat the shit out of the Dolphins. Is it time to take a step back on Tua?
No.
Are we worried about the Dolphins
Nope,
at all?
Not worried. I think it was just one game, and they played a pretty tough.
They played the number
team.
one defense.
Yeah, defense. Tua had against a team like that, you got to take your shots. Every player has a bad game in some sort of fashion, whether it's throwing 2 or 3 picks, whether it's not throwing your normal 3 touchdowns, just like Patrick Mahomes did last week. It seems like the Bengals have his number because the Bengals have won 4 in a row, like in this series, 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah, they've only played 3, I think. So
yeah. So, it's just matchups, histories.
It is matchups. It is matchups. And
so I'm not worried.
So who do we have on bye this week? We got the Bears and the Commanders.
I think there's only 2 on bye. Oh, there's 6 on bye. It's the last bye week, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm like, that should be more.
I thought it was 2. I guess that was 2 last week. We got Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and Washington, all on bye.
Oh wow! Last bye of the season. You can put so many teams on there. It's gonna be a lot of waiver wire pickups this week for sure. You're gonna have to make some adjustments. I see as far as quarterbacks, would you wait, 49ers aren't on bye, right?
They are not on bye. They are playing they're playing the Bucks. We were just talking about that.
Right. Yeah, right. Would you start Purdy? How desperate are people?
I still wouldn't, mainly because unless he just force feeds like screens and stuff to Debo and C-Mac, I wouldn't start him. There's not enough information. I mean, he could come out and freaking throw 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, but you never know. Especially when you're trying to make a playoff push, it wouldn't be the smartest thing. I would say that one of the things that you probably might want to do is pick out a guy like Tyler Huntley or
I was going to ask about Huntley or maybe Ryan Tannehill. He had a bad game last week, but
I would even say the Seattle defense isn't great, but they're decent. If you want to, Darnold could be a decent option. I wouldn't say do it, but if you're out of options, those are some guys that you could pick up.
Yeah, Darnold is definitely at the low end of that, but
yeah. But he played well last week behind that, or 2 weeks ago behind that offensive line, and he's more nimble and athletic than Baker, so he'll run around and get scrambling. But
I hear one of the key pickups for this week is Zonovan Knight. Have you heard who that is?
Oh yeah, the running back.
Zonovan Knight for the Jets.
Was it Jets? Because what's his name is out.
Jets, yeah, Michael Carter.
Yeah, he's the running back of Louisville, I think.
I say also now, shit, man, James Cook for the last few weeks since
he has stepped it up.
They
ever since you said something about Thanksgiving, he's
they played each other or whatever, and since that game, just because it was his brother on the other side, it was the week before Thanksgiving. And I said they put him in there all of a sudden. And I'm like, you know what? He might start because they obviously don't like Singletary. Like
Singletary should be their third down back, if anything. He's really great in open field. So to get him out there, it's a different game for him. But like if you want him to be a first and second down back, he's not going to do it.
Well, I feel like James Cook is in the same mold. It's on them. Like the Bills should have a running back that is like a bruiser. They need to have somebody that like wants to just go straight down the middle. Like, then like everybody's kind of like a scat back, somebody throw a screen to, kind of like a, like a Darren Sproles type of player. And yeah, they need to be able to just grind it out. They rely a little too much on Josh Allen. And
I feel like there's not many of those backs in the league now, because everybody wants versatility, and they don't want to have like, a power back and
no, but they should have a power back.
They should.
They don't have one. What I was saying,
no, you should
have. Yeah, I get it. There's no problem having multiple.
I feel like that's the mold now in the NFL.
Like right now, like Zeke is now the power back for the Cowboys, and Tony Pollard is now starting. And you see, it works out better for them. He should be starting, but Zeke is obviously the goal line or the 1 yard, or like they need people to.
Another good example would be the Lions. Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. Jamal Williams gets all those goal line close to goal, or 3rd down and 1, 3rd down and 2 touches and stuff like that.
There are certain players that like I can't wait to like get their chance, and be utilized more. Like we were speaking of Cook, I think about Dalvin Cook and his backup Madison. Like Madison, whenever he gets the chance to start, he plays well. I feel like another team could use him more, like, because Dalvin Cook is like a premier back. He's going to get most of the touches, but a team that needs more of a split that could use him. And it's the same thing as AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon is not used enough to me at the Packers, but I get it.
No, he's not.
Aaron Jones is amazing. He's a great running back. Like, he could pretty much do everything. So, it's hard to get AJ. He's kind of just a handcuff, and it's kind of annoying to be. I guess if you're a player, to be a handcuff when you could be a starter. At one point, Derrick Henry was a handcuff. He was behind DeMarco Murray, and I was sitting there like, why? What's going on? Like, for a whole year, then another half.
I remember when I thought DeMarco Murray was going to be like so good, and he only lasted like 2 years.
He played okay in Dallas, and he played pretty decent in the Titans, but they couldn't stay healthy. Like, whatever.
The same thing with Sean Alexander. He was like so good at Seattle, and then he came to the Redskins, and then.
Well, he was good at Seattle for like 8 years, though.
No, he was great in Seattle, and then he
for a long time. But DeMarco only had like a good 3-4 year run. Like, Derrick Henry's far surpassed him, and I was always annoyed. Like, I could never understand, just from watching them in the national champion, watching them like when he got drafted. I'm like, this dude's huge. Why? Like, there's no way he can't be like in the NFL, like destroying people. I felt the same way I looked at him was the same way I looked at DK Metcalf. So I'm like, why? Like, it gets annoying. Like, I don't understand GMs sometimes. Like, we feel, I know, since we do so much fantasy stuff and you pay attention to the drafts, that we kind of know better. But I'm sitting there like, there's no way DK Metcalf I remember saying this adamantly, AJ Brown and DK Metcalf, they should both be in the first round. And
they both ended up in the second round.
In the second round, and they're like, and I didn't know anything about Terry McLaurin. That was another crazy thing. Like, that, there was a lot of good wide receivers in that draft, but those two were the best easily. And you just look at them like, these physicals, but like, how do you just not take your chance on that? So, and I told people that AJ Brown was going to be better than DK. They didn't believe me either, because I was like, he just runs better routes. He's a better receiver all around. DK he's fucking crazy, but I digress. So I wish those guys had some other teams to go to. What is this? Zonovan Knight, he might do all right. Now Travis Homer or DJ Dallas, I guess, because for Seattle, like,
but I wouldn't pick either of those guys up.
They're really, I mean, you wouldn't if there weren't 6 teams on a bye.
But I guess that's
might have to, at least in the flex, start one of those two. So, I mean, what's really hard,
you might want to pick up Cam Akers.
He's on
our waiver wire, and He scored 18 and a half points last week, and he's playing against not so good run stopping Raiders team who doesn't have a quarterback right now. And if they're going to start Baker, they're going to be running the ball a lot, play actioning and all that stuff. So I would say he's a solid running back pickup this week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a good one. One person I'm looking into is, as far as he's probably not on too many waivers, but if you're thinking about starting him, I would definitely start DJ Chark this week. He's playing against his former team.
I would say all the Lions receivers should be upgraded this week.
Now the thing about that, Jared Goff might have a good couple of weeks because, like,
they're still in the playoff.
They drafted. I mean, so they already got St. Brown. He's basically a Pro Bowler. He's a great wide receiver. Then they have DJ Chark.
Who's a speedster. Straight line.
But then people forget, like, we've had so many good rookies play this year. We've had Chris Olave. There's Drake London. Wilson. You kind of feel like Garrett Wilson is just starting to hit up, but before those two, Garrett Wilson and Olave, was Jameson Williams. And Jameson Williams, he played last week. He played last week, but he only played like a few plays, and eventually, they're just gonna let him.
He got his feet wet.
So as the year goes on, I assume he's gonna, these rookie wide receivers it's so crazy how important wide receivers now are and how good they are in college right now. How important, if you look at from Justin Jefferson's class up until now, like every wide receiver that's been in the first and second round
it's so deep. It's ridiculous.
They've changed, the game. Like, usually there'd be the veterans. Like it's just hard to even say DeAndre Hopkins is best wide receiver anymore. Like,
no, it is hard to say that.
Jamar Chase, what about it? Like, it's like there's so many studs in the last 3 or 4 years, wide receivers that have come out. It's ridiculous. It's never happened before. I've never seen this. To me, that's what you need to do. Pick on the wide receivers. I hope Jahan Dotson, who had another touchdown last week.
He started off the year really strong. And just, his injuries.
Yeah, he got injured. He was out. He got injured for 4 weeks, and then this was his first week back, and he got another touchdown. So I think he has 4 or 5 on the year. So I think he's good too. I still don't know if he's going to be as good as Olave. We couldn't have got Garrett was before Olave, Jameson, Drake London, I believe. I'll say this, after this, you're pretty much stuck. You once you get to the playoffs, you really can't be scouring the waiver wire. Like, you really have to have a set team. So you're not really keeping anybody from the Falcons going forward. It's a possibility Mariota will probably be benched for Desmond Ridder.
No, as long as they're still in the playoff hunt, they won't do that. But as long as the NFC South remains competitive, it's going to be hard for them to bench Mariota. Just like I don't know.
They could lose. Yeah, the Bucks could lose 2 games in a row, and then the Falcons could win, and they're back in it. So it is crazy how bad
it is. Because I was looking at the Bucks schedule earlier, and they have a pretty tough schedule remaining, as they have the 49ers this week. They got the Bengals the week after, and then they got us, and then they also got I think the Falcons once, and they got another team. I think they got the Ravens. I can't even remember. But their schedule is not doing them any favors.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, let's get to these games, man.
All right. Any other wide receivers you think are worth picking up this week? I looking through the list right now, and I don't really see any. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, nothing to me. Like I like what Alec Pierce did for the Colts, but I mean,
He was just getting force fed the ball.
Yeah, I know.
Like every play I watched of that game, Matt Ryan was just like throwing a duck to him. I was not getting caught.
But I don't know how long Matt Ryan's going to be starting. So
yeah, I don't see any other. Maybe I mean Rondell Moore is on our waiver wire. They're coming off a bye. They're playing Monday night against the Patriots, who have a pretty decent defense.
Well,
but if you're desperate,
yeah, I picked up Marquise Brown a few weeks ago. You know, now he's back. So Rondell Moore is, you know, probably third string. But you know, he can still have a good game. I mean, they got to do something. I don't see the Cardinals will probably lose again this week, but like it's basically a lost season if they don't win. They're right there with the Lions trying to fight their way in by winning out. So I don't think it's I don't think it's gonna happen. But that's it.
Let's move on to the games.
Anybody else?
All right, Thursday Night Football. We got the Raiders and Rams.
Yep, Raiders and Rams. Don't know who to start for the Rams.
Definitely don't know how to start. I mean, Cam Akers might be a sneaky sleeper start, like I said, like we said earlier. But other than that, I wouldn't start anybody on the Rams.
I mean, maybe another seeker, but just because they all suck, like tight ends, maybe Higbee, if he's out there. If he's out there, but there's a lot.
Especially, it depends on who's starting. If they actually do start Baker, then good luck to them. Higbee would be a good safety valve.
That's the only thing. That's all I can think of is that Baker might throw to the tight end. That's all. That's it. But
the Raiders, ever since Derek Carr cried on after his press conference, they are undefeated.
Yep. I think he should cry again just to make sure that they don't lose.
Start Derek Carr. Start
Devontae Adams,
obviously. Devontae Adams. I would actually start the Raiders defense this week.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. They're not very good at all, but
no,
neither is either
LA's quarterback situation is terrible. So
hey, look, LA deserves whatever. They sold their future away to get that fucking Super Bowl, and
it was worth it.
They wouldn't give it back. Yeah, if they go through another year of garbageness, I think it was.
They don't have a first round pick for I think 3 years right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Sheesh.
But I mean, some of they'll still have Stafford. Stafford's probably going to be there for the next 3 years.
They're worried about his injury. It might be career ending at this point.
Oh, really? Well, then they might not have to pay him. That'll be it. If he can't get back, like if he's like the doctor's like he can't get back, then
that's why Baker's probably a solid pickup for them at this point.
I mean, no, they just need to draft another quarter. Like they're
not going to be able to draft anybody until the second or third round.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. There are quarterbacks in the second or third round
that's true.
That pan out. You just have to.
And then Hooker would be a very good decision because if he just tore his ACL, he can sit. So.
Yeah, I mean, look there was only the one quarterback this year is Pickett. I think in the first round, and now.
Yeah.
And then
4 quarterbacks this year in the first round.
Yeah. But I mean, they still have they always have the option. There's always a way. There's always a way to trade somebody to do something to figure out a way.
They're going to trade Cooper Kupp away for 3 first round picks.
I mean, that might be the smartest thing to do.
That might be worth
it. It might be the smart. Like if they could trade Cooper Kupp for like what the Chiefs did for Tyreek Hill. It might be the smartest thing for them to do, because like he's their best player, but they have too many things to. If Stafford's gone, like Stafford's gone, terrible. Yeah, like, and I like McVay. McVay reminds me. Alpha always says it.
Of course, you like McVay. Why wouldn't you like McVay?
Yeah, maybe he sucks. I was looking at it like, ooh, maybe he sucks for like a couple of years and they fire him and he comes back to Washington. That was like my hope. I was like, ooh, yeah, let them be idiots and be like, oh no, you've been bad since after getting us a Super Bowl and getting us to 2 Super Bowls and winning 1. No, like they're dumb. I would love for them to do that, but it's just so many coaches is annoying. Like, I'm just looking forward to Dan Snyder selling the team. That's what I'm caring about. Like, however, if you go to the playoffs, I don't think we're gonna do much with that. I prefer to have a better draft pick, but it is fun. The energy is entertaining. I know, like, after this bye week, I'm getting so amped because might be going to the game, to the Giants Washington game.
That's the flex one, right? Sunday night?
Yes, they flex it Sunday night, and the Giants play the Eagles this week, which means they'll probably lose. So, coming into this game at FedEx Field with Chase Young finally returning,
a big game.
We will be 7-5-1, both of us, the Giants and the Commanders.
So why do they schedule it like that? You guys just played them. You guys got tired. You guys get a bye, and then you guys play them right again.
Yeah, I don't know. I believe they also. I think this is the Cowboys play the Eagles twice or something silly like that. On the other side too. Yeah, I don't think the Cowboys played the Eagles yet, have they?
They have, I think.
They have, and they lost.
Yeah, they lost.
No. The Giants played the Eagles twice in the last.
Let me double check.
Yeah, let me check the Giants schedule. So I'm like, they have a way harder schedule than us going forward. So if we beat them, we should be on our way to, getting into the playoffs. And I'll completely forgive Ron Rivera. This is an amazing coaching job. I was so skeptical all year. But like I said, it's week 2 when you were telling me about Curtis Samuel. I'm like, well, I need a written letter from Ron Rivera telling me why Carson Wentz needs to continue starting. Like, please, like, get him out of the starting lineup. Everything will be better. And luckily for us, he got hurt like usual. Luckily for us, like, the Colts didn't happen for them. He didn't get hurt. But for us this year, finally, like normal, Carson Wentz got his dumb ass hurt, and it turned out for the better. So this is what I wanted. And this is why I hate this shit too, because all I wanted was, like, when we get Carson Wentz, we still have to pay him $30 million fucking dollars, $27 million.
I don't know why you guys made that.
We could have just kept Heinicke and got shit around. Like, you use that $27 million for another lineman or another defensive. Like, we lost William Jackson. That's kind of, he didn't want to play for us anymore. But like, other things that could have helped, like $27 million, you could get Tyreek Hill or fucking AJ Brown. Like, we could have. I mean, we didn't have the draft picks or whatever, but it's a lot of money that I would have rather just not even spent. If it's like, yeah, we didn't need to do it. We could have just gone with Heinicke, and we might have the same record. We might have one more victory. But when Taylor got in there, we were 1-4 or 2-4.
Yeah, you guys are currently the hottest team in the NFL. I think you guys only lost one game in that span that he's been in.
Yeah, that Heinicke's been in. We lost to the Vikings, and then we had a 17-point lead on the Vikings. So, like, yeah, he should be undefeated, and we tied. He still hasn't lost yet since in the last 5 games. We won 5 games in a row, then tied. But all right, next game.
So wait, before the Giants play, obviously, the Eagles this week, and they also close out the season with them. So within a 5-week span.
Right. So they play. Yeah. So the Giants play the Eagles. Like so, they play us twice and the Eagles twice in like a 6-week span.
Yeah,
that's 4.
Yours is weird though, because you guys play the Giants basically back to back, but you guys have a bye sandwich.
We have a bye, yeah. So it's
all right.
It's
so
weird did that.
On to the ones. We got the Jets and the Bills. That's gonna be a fun game. I think the Jets won the first matchup. So the Bills gonna be looking for revenge. The Jets gonna be starting Mike White. Garrett Wilson has been popping off, obviously.
Yeah.
So I definitely start him.
I wish I would have kept. I wish
I kept him.
I got Christian Watson. Look, I'm glad for him.
I wish I kept him.
I should have.
I drafted him, and I dropped him after like 4 or 5 weeks of being inept behind Zach Wilson and Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Well,
all he needed was Mike White.
Well. He played well with Flacco, actually.
Oh yeah, he played like 1 or 2 games with him, but then Zach
Flacco had like 400 yards passing like the first couple games. Like he played really well, and then when Zach Wilson came in, it just all went down. Everything went bad.
It's because Zach Wilson's trash.
Yeah, he's completely trash, and he honestly might. I mean, he'll probably play and start again, but like. It seems as who's the guy said last week? It seems like Josh Rosen again. So,
yep.
Anybody
else on the Jets you would start?
Yeah, maybe the running back. I mean, you start James Robinson and Zonovan. What's his face again? I forget his name. Knight. Zonovan Knight.
Well, Michael Carter looks like he's gonna be playing this week too.
Said he might play, yeah. So I don't know. Just James Robinson. James Robinson is clearly their number one.
The Bills side,
Corey Davis, maybe.
Yeah, Corey Davis might actually be a good start too, alongside
flex. Yeah.
On the Bills side, I would only start Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, the normal. I would downgrade the other wide receivers because Jets defense is actually really good.
Pretty good.
They're top 10 pass defense.
So it should be a low scoring game. It actually could be. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an upset, even with Mike White.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. The Jets are a good team, and
because
the only thing that they're missing is good quarterback play. And
it's a divisional rival. It's possible. I think the Jets could actually beat the Bills.
I think it's gonna be a solid game.
I don't know if you have to start Singletary or James Cook. To me, they're basically the same. They're gonna get you about 10 to a dozen points, and maybe 7. But
there's a lot of good games this week.
Yeah. Hey, give me 1 second, man. Like 1 second.
Yes, Steve. I like Mike White too. He's fiery. He's got the competitive edge, and he's not scared to throw the ball. I think that's the mentality he has that's helped him endear him to a lot of players, especially Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson has come out and said that he would go to war for Mike White, and that's a big endorsement. Just like Terry McLaurin coming out and saying the same thing about Heineke. Like, you want him for the future,
Yeah. So we were on the Bills.
I wouldn't start anybody other than Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Like Stephon Diggs, I'm still even like hesitating, but because he's gonna be matched up against Sauce. But I don't want to give Sauce too much credit just yet because he's a rookie, but he has been solid and probably the top rookie so far defensively in this draft. He's literally like locked down already.
I think I called that. That was on my other podcast. I said, like, he's gonna be the best player in the draft. Like they seem like they just redrafted. Revis. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like there's Sauce Island, and you don't want to get sticky over there. You want to. It's getting sticky.
Get caught in the sauce.
He's playing like this as a rookie. and he missed the first few weeks, I believe, injured.
Mm-hmm.
And after he came in, the Jets went on a win. Like that's when you know you're good. Just one player could come and they could change the whole defense.
He takes away half of the field by himself.
Yeah. So like the Steelers, like when TJ Watt was gone, you could see like their defense,
the difference, yes,
completely different. I guarantee if Marco Parsons is gone from the Cowboys, but that's what makes me so anxious about the Commanders. Like if Chase Young comes back and he's that pedigree and he's supposed to be like a Nick Bosa or TJ Watt, like I'm not saying Aaron Donald, that's a little crazy, but he's supposed to be in that mold, in that vein, and this defensive line is already ridiculous. I can't wait till like finally when he gets back. I know it's going to take a few weeks. Probably takes a little bit. I feel like it's a little different for a defensive player as opposed to an offensive like it took Michael Gallup like 8 weeks to get back.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you some time and playing. And right now, Chris Godwin, as we have been champion for the last few weeks, like he seems to be fully back from his injury. Curtis Samuel seems to be that like he's fully back from his injury, but he needs a little better quarterback to play to get him the fucking ball. But that's what I'm hoping Heinicke learned through this game at the Giants, that on that last drive he started it by hitting Terry McLaurin, then he hit Samuels twice, and then they scored a touchdown with Dotson. He's got 3 good receivers, and he needs to utilize them. So who else is 1 o'clock after?
We got the Browns and the Bengals. Another solid game.
I might start the Bengals defense. Like the Cleveland's defense is not going to do what they did to the Bengals.
No, they're not. They're not. I expect this to be more on the higher scoring end, though. Like higher scoring than the Bills, than when they played the Chiefs last week.
But is Deshaun Watson gonna be?
Oh, he was rusty last week. He was definitely rusty.
Is he gonna be less rusty this week? I assume
he will, but I also assume that they will be running it down the throat of Cincinnati's defense with Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
it's a very important game for Cleveland.
Who else would you start? Like start Peoples-Jones or something? I don't
know. I would start Amari, obviously.
Like it's so crazy. Like they're like, all right, Deshaun Watson, come here. Let's get rid of they have Amari Cooper.
I would start Amari. I would start Deshaun this week. Even after the struggles of last week. The Texans defense is not bad. Cincinnati's defense is decent, but it's not great either. But they managed to find ways to shut down Mahomes last week. But I feel like they're going to game plan better. Cleveland will. And Chubb will be super involved. So I would start Chubb. I would start Deshaun. I would start Amari. And is Njoku back this week?
I don't know.
He was out last week.
I don't know. They don't have Hooper anymore. Who's their other tight end?
I don't know who their other tight end is. Njoku is questionable. Did he practice today? He practiced today, so I anticipate he'll start.
Okay. All right. Well,
so keep an eye on that.
Start on Njoku because tight ends are at a premium this year. It's basically it's just Travis Kelce and then nobody else. Not even Mark Andrews seems like he's worth like anything anymore. Like there's no other tight ends that are reliable.
Only Kelce, pretty much.
Yeah, I kind of gotta know. Yeah. Dallas Goedert is actually coming back soon. Somebody picked him up. I was a little annoyed.
That is definitely missing from that Philly offense. Makes them more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. They've been relatively healthy though. It's not like nobody's gotten injured on their team, which maybe that's the I think that's a lot of a formula to winning, a Super Bowl. I mean, oh my God, I don't know what I'll do with fucking like I plead the Eagles. I can't have them win another Super Bowl. Like those are the most like I got a lot of Cowboys family and friends, so they're the most annoying to me, but like Philadelphia people are dirtbags. They're like terrible, shitty. Like, I mean, throw rocks at Santa.
I mean, you would know. You lived there for a few years.
Yeah, I lived there. I knew firsthand. They were just fucking animals, man. There's nobody worse than Philly fans. You guys fucking Bill Burr. I don't know if you ever heard about his Philly rant, but one of the greatest.
I think I have.
One of the greatest things you can ever listen to. But yeah, man, I can't think of any other place in the country that's more volatile and dealing with sports, dealing with anything than fucking Philadelphia. So yeah, I'd be so annoyed if they won again. Their fans are kind of annoying. If they keep winning, they might I just can't fathom the idea. Like, I'm already dealing with the Cowboys, right? But if the Eagles win again, I feel like Eagles fans are gonna start acting like Cowboys fans. And I can't deal with both of them. I can't deal with both of them in the goddamn, like, it's too much. So, yeah, I really hope they don't win. Dallas Goedert will help them, but they haven't got hit by injury bugs. Usually people
they really haven't.
And I don't want to, wish it on them, but eventually something, they're just lucky only Dallas Goedert got hurt. So,
on the Bengals side, obviously you start Joe Burrow. Joe Mixon's going to be back this week.
Jamar Chase,
Tyler Samaje Perine has been really, really good in his stead.
Yeah, maybe worth a flex, but
definitely start Jamar Chase.
And yeah, it's hard to say not try any of them. Boyd, T. Higgins.
Yeah, they're both. I anticipate this is gonna be a high scoring game, so all three of them are definitely viable. Like Boyd, Higgins, all three of them.
Those other two are in the flex, but you never not starting Jamar Chase. So
no.
Yeah, I might even trade Jamar Chase for Cooper Kupp if somebody would do it.
All right, we got Texans, Cowboys.
Oh God, it start the Dallas defense.
If Davis Mills will be back at starter this week because Kyle Allen has sucked it up. As we all thought.
Davis Mills wasn't even injured? They just
benched him for 2 weeks and then Kyle Allen, shit the bed last week. So what?
They're like, look, the team sucks, bro. Like Davis Mills would be decent if he was on the 49ers or the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, he would be.
But he's like, I'm on the shittiest team. Like Deshaun Watson could make
even on the Jaguars, he would be all right, So
yeah, on the fucking Lions, like he has nothing. Brandon Cooks is wash, and then I can't Nico Collins. I don't know who are the other wide receivers for the fucking Texans. Who cares? And then a rookie running back was their only bright spot. So yeah, Pierce is. Maybe
don't start Pierce this week, please.
Yeah,
Dallas's defense is going to be keying in on that, and this is going to be an easy win for Dallas.
I always wondered if teams just do shit I feel like Dallas could just start Cooper Rush and all right, let's just chill out. Just start the fucking B squad and beat fucking Texas. Keep ourselves healthy. Get an extra bye week.
I would start CeeDee Lamb.
I actually might start. I was saying let's start Zeke and Pollard. No, I'll start Gallup. Shoot, but I might actually start the third running back, Davis, because they might start beating him so horribly that they bring him in. And he scored a touchdown last week as well, like the third, because they're not gonna pound Zeke if they don't need to. Like they really, really want Zeke to be healthy. So if they don't need to, they would rather put Miles on Tony Pollard than Zeke. So at a certain point, if the game's already secured, they're gonna put in the third running back. I think Davis is a sneaky flex pick. especially if you're playing DFS. Like
I wouldn't put my money on it, especially this deep into the season. Fantasy playoffs on the line. Some leagues fantasy playoffs might work.
You heard what I said. I hear what I said. I said I might put him DFS. in DFS in like in just a DFS in your flex position, because he has to be nothing. He has to be cheap as hell, and you can put more into
I guess that makes sense too.
Yeah, like he has to be like the bare minimum of like to put onto your fucking roster. He probably is cost less than a kicker, so you can put two good, you get a secondary, another good wide receiver or another running back for that. So that'd be the only thing I would say for that. I was just saying my sleeper.
Would you start Dak this week?
I mean,
I anticipate it's gonna be a black blowout, so I don't know.
I feel like you kind of have to, but you see what Watson did nothing, and they beat the shit out of them. So, I mean, I don't know, because all the touchdowns might be running. They might just hand the ball off, and it might be like 30 yards into the end zone. So they're gonna get the ball to CD. You kind of got to start Dak. I think there's 6 teams off. I don't know how many other Dak might be your backup. More than likely, you have to start him. But I wouldn't be like ecstatic about it. I wouldn't put him even like, I think Derek Carr might have more fucking points than him this week. Geno Smith will probably have more points than him this week. So
no, Geno won't. I guarantee you that.
Will they playing the Niners?
No, they're playing us.
Oh, shut up.
We're shutting down one of them, right?
All right. You think okay.
We're shutting down one of them wide receivers. All right.
You're gonna shut them down. Well, fine. Start the Panthers defense. All right, continue.
We got Vikings Lions. Another good game.
Yeah, I think the Lions could win that too. Like just I said,
the Lions can win it too.
Like it wouldn't be crazy that the Lions win. Now, if Jameson Williams has a decent game. They have 3 really good wide receivers, and Jared Goff isn't horrible. He knows how to win games.
The game is in Detroit, and he fares well playing indoors.
They have a bad defense, but
they do have a bad defense.
But
Kirk Cousins is also prone to making mistakes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's because I don't think Kirk Cousins is so much better than Jared Goff. That is plausible. So, yeah, the Vikings to me every week are on upset alert. They're too good. They won too many games. They're always on upset alert because they could always lose, and I wouldn't be surprised. They keep winning somehow, but if they lost, I would, well, okay, yeah, it's Kirk Cousins. He did some stupid shit. So yeah, start St. Brown, start Swift Williams, Chark. No, wait.
Yeah, I would start Chark.
It's the Lions versus the
Vikings. Literally all Lions wide receivers get an upgrade this week. All of them. Okay. It's gonna be freaking high scoring.
Yeah. All right.
Jared Goff is a sneaky sleeper start this week if you have him.
I think if you have him, you should probably start him. I don't know. Like the only people you don't bench is Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. Burrow,
Justin Fields.
Just Fields, he's on a bye, and then maybe Herbert. That's about it. I don't even. Yeah, Herbert's a maybe.
Herbert's not I'm a start every week. I can tell you.
No. I know you have him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I think it's only that because half of the season, most of his wide receivers have been injured. So, he's definitely been nerfed. Like if AJ Brown and Devontae Smith go down for the Eagles, how good are they going to be?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like how good is Jalen Hurts really? If it's like those two are both gone.
How good is Tua without
exactly
Tyreek and
how good is Geno Smith without Lockett and Metcalf? better than Russell Wilson either way.
Yeah.
Goddamn Denver Broncos and just got Geno Smith, kept all that draft equity and money.
Smart.
I know, man.
All right, for the Vikings, you start Justin Jefferson, you start Kirk, obviously, even with his interception prone throwing ass.
Yeah, you still gotta start him because
start Dalvin.
It's the Lions defense.
Do you start Thielen?
I might in a flex, like I might. Yeah, I would flex start him. I think. Yeah, like it's gonna be, like you said, it's gonna be high scoring. The Lions have bad defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like
this is that kind of game that's gonna be like 41-38 kind of game in my eyes.
Yeah,
back and forth. Well, I think they played early in the season and it was very similar. Let me double check that. No, it's 28-24.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I don't think anybody else. We don't get into the kickers, so who cares?
All right, we got Jags and Titans.
I don't know. Start Trevor Lawrence. I guess Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I would start both of them.
Is ETN? I don't know.
Is ETN playing?
I think he's injured, isn't he? Is he injured?
I'm gonna double check real quick. No, he's playing.
Okay.
You got no question marks on him right now.
All right.
He was limited last week. He only had 13 carries, but yeah, I would start ETN. I would start the two that you said. A sneaky tight end. Tight ends are at a premium. Evan Ingram might be a good start. Good sneaky tight end for this week. Tennessee, Derrick Henry. I would start. Obviously, must start.
Yeah, must start.
Tannehill is a sneaky quarterback to get in there if your guy is on a bye, like we said at the beginning. It also depends on if Treylon Burks is going to play this week. He got knocked out of the game with a concussion, so keep an eye on that. I'm not sure if you guys want to do this, but the tight end from the Titans, the rookie Okonkwo, he's been having some solid weeks and he's coming up in the ranks. I think he's getting more playing time than Hooper at this point. He's got some solid upside if you want to take a risk on a tight end. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, deep leagues. We're getting deep into the I mean, it's the end of the season.
But give me a second. I got a phone call.
All right, cool. All right, so we were just on the Jaguars, and who in the Jaguars?
We were on the Jaguars and Titans. By the way, you got to put your cam back on.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jaguars and the Titans.
We went through the Jaguars for the most part. We were talking about the Titans, and
yeah, you said maybe the tight end, whatever. That's So we passed.
I think we basically finished it. Yeah. So we got Eagles and Giants.
Okay. Yeah, I said last week. I said don't start Devontae Smith, but
he showed out.
Yeah, so I guess start him. I don't think Goddard's playing this week. I think he's gonna play in the following week, but he started practicing again. So AJ Brown,
start both of the wide receivers.
AJ Brown, maybe even
Devontae Smith,
maybe even Quez Watkins, because look, the Giants Commanders get like it's so funny how like they're deficient in different ways. They tied because they're so equal, like as like partially they're decent teams. Basically, they're not good teams, but they're serviceable. But the Giants were missing and will still be missing their top 2 cornerbacks. And it took Taylor Heinicke into the fourth quarter to realize you should pick on like the guy who's just brought up for the practice squad. And all those passes you saw, like I said, at the end of that drive where they went to score a touchdown to tie it up, send it overtime, they were on the same person. Whoever that person was guarding, Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, or Dotson, he threw it against that person. So
they bullied him.
Yes, I think the Eagles will be smarter and bully all of the cornerbacks for the fucking Giants. They don't really have any right now, and they have a prolific passing offense right now, and their run game. Miles Sanders is not. I mean, the only thing I think that'll play be an issue for the Eagles as they're going forward is their run game isn't very dominant. Like the run game is good because they can use Hurts and but whatever. But if tough yards, I don't know what their real plan is, because Miles Sanders is not a number 1 or running back. So they have him and Boston Scott. So they're going to score a lot of points. I think they should beat the shit out of the Giants. It would be weird if it was like a close game, just because how weird sometimes divisional games are. But I wouldn't be scared to start any of the Eagles players. I would be scared to start everybody but Saquon Barkley on the Giants.
No, I would too.
I mean, I will start Saquon because you kind of have to, but
yeah, most definitely.
Because not definitely. You don't want to.
I don't want to start anybody on the Giants, to be honest. But Saquon is like the only one player that I would even consider.
It's so funny. Matrix is the one who told me, reminded me, like sometimes those division matches mean a thing. Like Daniel Jones, I didn't want to start him like last week. I was like, I would never start him. Like the Commanders defense is too like good. Somehow he always has a good game, like against the Commanders. It's just a weird thing. It's weird because Heineke's still won the last 2 games with him, but like his passing percentage and his touchdown to turnover ratio is like fucking Steve Young when he plays against Washington. Fucking Daniel Jones. So maybe after week after this, you might start him. I don't think he has that same effect on the Eagles. So nobody else but Saquon. If you absolutely might have to start Daniel Jones, I don't know, but I don't see him getting more than 10, 12 points.
Probably mostly with his legs, to be honest with you. But
yeah, he's pretty quick.
All right, the last of the ones, we got the Ravens and the Steelers.
Okay.
It's gonna be a low-scoring game. Very low-scoring game.
I'm starting to like Pickett.
I'm liking what the Steelers have been doing recently. They've been doing my team a lot of favors by defeating NFC South foes, but their defense has been, really good since TJ Watt came back. Kenny Pickett has been improving every week. His
proving he should have been starting from the beginning.
Yes, he should have been starting from the
beginning.
Why
was Mitchell Trubisky there? Like to do
They wasted their money on Mitchell.
Yeah, it was a waste. Like I think they needed it to whatever, but they could have just kept he only $10 million. So they could have kept him and just kept him as a backup in case there was something like going on with Pickett. But they should have just started Pickett. I don't know why they just started. They
should have. And I honestly can say that I was wrong about him. I didn't think that he would do very good in the NFL, but the Steelers are probably the perfect team for him to be in that situation, with a good defense, a good running back, and a young core, a good coach, a young core of wide receivers and tight ends that he can build around and build rapport with. So I think the Steelers are going to win this game. And
now, same thing. Just, I don't know what's going on with the AFC North, like where the Steelers and the Ravens are just, they're just so like steadfast on being like old school football. Like they will not, get rid of Greg Roman in Baltimore, and like they like I forget who the coordinator is and for the Steelers, but it's so old school. Like they have not changed anything. There's no movement before. Like it's such
that's what happens though when you're a team that has so much stability and success. You know,
you don't want to change it up.
The Steelers haven't had a losing season under Tomlin yet until maybe this year might be their first with some growing pains. You know, but no, if it ain't broke for the most part, you don't fix it. But like, you know, most of Baltimore's success has come from Lamar Jackson's ad-libbing plays, which he hasn't done very much of this year. So you know, is Greg Roman really the catalyst behind their offense? I don't think so. So even if you were to bring in another offensive coordinator, I don't know if things would change very much.
I mean, you can't tell me that. You can't say if what's to do Mike McDaniel came in. Like you can't tell me if somebody with new plays and thoughts and ideas couldn't open up Lamar Jackson. Like I mean, they did bring in, they do at least do, you know, RPOs, you know, pass options, and you know, he does his, they have design runs for him, but like I just feel like they haven't given him the tools that he needs to succeed. I know a couple years ago, I think he had better tools, and I thought he had a chance to do stuff, but there was a lot of injuries. Some of his running backs, you know, I remember he lost all three of his running backs 1 year in preseason. Like, so, you know,
just like this year, like they pretty much have been a revolving door at running back this year too.
Yeah, man. Like, so they're gonna use up Jackson. They're just lucky that he hasn't got hurt already, like RG3, and they're gonna basically just try to stay on his back, but they're not getting him any help. They've added to the defense. They got, you know, it's been all their draft picks of defense. Like they haven't attempted to give this man, like, look where Jalen Hurts went when they gave him a top wide receiver. Like things change.
Things definitely changed for him.
Things change when you have a top. With Josh Allen, they had to get him Stephon Diggs, or he wouldn't have been able to move up. Like Mahomes was lucky enough that they drafted all those people, and they had to, you know, he was able to grow up with them. But you need to have that top receiver. You need to have other people besides your fucking, like, it's only Lamar Jackson. And
no, and I agree. They really haven't, other than Mark Andrews, they haven't really done anything
and Mark Andrews was just lucky. Support. They drafted him. That's what I'm saying. Like the Ravens were in the, I think, saying, you know, the Rams needed an upgrade of the quarterback or whatever, but the Ravens were in a seat where we need to go all out to try to win a Super Bowl. And if they fuck the draft and got him and got people to play with Lamar Jackson, like they would be a contender. Like he got hurt. Okay. And the reason he wasn't trying to run as much and do all this because he was trying to not get hurt, because he wanted to end the season. If he just ended the season making the playoffs, he gets paid. Yeah. Somebody asked a question, but they lost. That's so hilarious. It's funny.
Wait, what? Someone asked a question, but they lost?
No. So somebody left, but they left. It says,
they left.
He asked a question. I said, questions, be back soon. Then you came back. Then he asked questions and it said, all right, you lost your one viewer. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, he said, should I trade Kirk Cousins for Kamara? I mean, yes, duh. That's silly.
Kirk Cousins for Kamara?
Yes. Why would you even ask us? That's silly. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is he's a streaming quarterback. So Kamara is a starter every week. I mean, yeah, this is silly. But yeah, it's not here nor there. I just think it's funny. He was like, "You lost your one viewer." This whole time I was looking at this shit, and then whatever. Hey, things will change. We get into the playoffs. People are gonna need their advice next week, but so damn, who are we on just now?
We were talking about still talking about the Ravens Steelers.
Right, Ravens Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers. I wouldn't start any of their people yet.
I actually would. I would start Freiermuth. I would start Freiermuth.
Najee Harris, maybe.
I would probably put in the flex for this week. Because Baltimore stops the run.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Baltimore side. I don't know who I would start this week. I mean, like I said, like we said at the beginning, Tyler Huntley's a sleeper, but he is going up against a really good Steelers defense. So I wouldn't suggest starting him, but if you have to absolutely pick up a quarterback this week, Tyler Huntley could be a shot in the dark, but I wouldn't, bank my fantasy berth on him.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's just it's a silly start if you basically have a game to lose. I couldn't. It'd be hard for me to think. All right, Huntley's gonna get me into the playoffs.
No, okay. He's just the matchup isn't right, but
yeah,
you never know. Things have been weirder.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got the first of the fours. We got the Chiefs and the Broncos.
It should be like the Chiefs just lost. It should be like absolute pummeling. It would be the funniest thing ever. Somehow, like Russell Wilson was like 400 yards passing, and they beat the Chiefs in the last. It'd be the most hilarious thing.
Like ever. Sierra gave me the good stuff last night. I'm gonna come out and ball out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, you start Kelsey Mahomes.
Pacheco.
You're gonna start Schuster.
I am not gonna start Schuster this week.
Didn't think so.
I don't know if I would suggest starting anybody other than Kelsey, receiving ball wise. So
yeah, Kadarius Toney's back. They got Valdez Scantling. It's just it's just Mahomes and Kelsey. Maybe Pacheco.
Yeah, I would probably start Pacheco on the flex.
Yeah, for sure.
Denver, don't start nobody.
Yeah, don't start anybody.
Don't start nobody.
Sad. Maybe the kicker. They might score some points.
Yeah, maybe McManus. Maybe he'll put up 20 points like the Steelers kicker did for me last week.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Chiefs defense is not that awesome, but I don't think the Broncos are going to move the ball great. So yeah, that's it on that.
That's the one kicker advice you guys get this week. Start McManus.
Start McManus.
All right, we got the Bucks and the Niners.
Okay. McCaffrey, Debo. That's it. Like Kittle wasn't doing anything. Yeah,
Kittle's. You kind of got to do it because, as we said, there's
because tight ends suck. Yeah, tight ends suck. So I guess start him too. But Ayuk probably back to the bench.
Temper your expectations because it is Brock Purdy at quarterback.
Yeah, so Ayuk maybe not. I almost think it'll be somebody else, like the third, like whoever Purdy
whoever he practices with.
Yeah. Like it'd be some guy like that we would pay attention.
Jawan Jones.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe something silly like that. But just the normal suspects, just Debo and McCaffrey. Kittle, like I said. So, and then they're playing. I'm sorry, who again?
The Bucks.
Right, Bucks. Godwin.
Again, temper your expectations against.
Yeah, they're playing. It's number one defense. So I don't want to start Tom Brady. Like that's what I'm saying. I got Tom Brady.
You kind of have to start Tom Brady, mainly because there's not like it's hard not to at this point, and he has been clutch over the last few weeks. I hate it. But you never know. Tommy Brady, young 44-year-old. He rises to the occasion.
He's gonna give me 15 points for sure. Like that's what he always does. He gives you 15 to maybe 20, but like I'm never gonna get those big points back.
No. Yeah, tried and true, right? So,
yeah, I'm thinking I might start Tannehill because like I might start Tannehill over fucking Brady. Like,
we said that would be a good start this week. So.
Decent, just because I don't think Tannehill have two horrible weeks like that. He's a streaky guy. He deserves to be a starter in the National Football League, but he's questionable. Like you said, Treylon Burks is probably questionable too. So I mean,
his targets are
limited. Sad. It's almost making me think I might have to start Huntley. The only other person I see that is intriguing, which is the silliest thing ever. Like I can't even like fathom really. Yeah, I can't start Mac Jones. The Arizona Cardinals defense is so horrible. Like Mac Jones had 24 points against the Vikings defense 2 weeks ago, but
you never know.
You never know. I mean, I feel like I might start him over Huntley. At least Mac Jones is supposed to be the starter. Like, yeah, it's just a wholesale thing.
All right, we got 3 more games on the docket. The last of the 4s is Panthers Seahawks. Like I said earlier, I vouch for causing.
You got to start the Panthers defense.
I would vouch for the Panthers defense to cause some issues with Geno Smith. Geno is going to throw at least 2 picks in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him saying like he's going to definitely throw 2. He hasn't had horrible games like that. So, I mean, so I'd start Metcalf and maybe even Tyler Lockett. I mean,
out of the 2,
you have a lot more respect for
out of
your
the 2
than I do.
I would say that Lockett would be the better start against us. JC Horn has been locked down on the number 1 receiver. Usually he shadows them. Sometimes he won't shadow, and then DK will get his numbers. But he has been a top 5 corner in man-to-man defense per PFF ratings this year.
JC Horn, that guy you would trade for Justin Fields in the second.
I still think that Justin Fields should have been the pick, but I like me some JC Horn. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's a double-edged sword. Like which one would take us where we want to get. The offense would be so much better with Justin Fields, obviously, but the defense would be so much worse without JC Horn too. So
it's just simple. Y'all wanted to go the route of, say, the 49ers. Like the 49ers don't spend a lot on their, like, as far as draft picks and investments, they'll spend a lot on their offense. And when you were trading people and moving stuff around, like, people wanted your defensive players. I was like, fuck that. You traded McCaffrey. DJ Moore was on the goddamn trading block.
Yeah, the Packers offered us a first round pick for him for DJ, and we still said no.
I wouldn't. I mean, I do really like DJ Moore. He's the number 1. He can stay at number 1. But you have to pay the paying of him, or like just saying what I've said about the wide receivers earlier and the last few years.
You're absolutely correct.
They're so stacked. You can get So I think Treylon Burks, he's not AJ Brown, but he might be in 3 years. Like I like Treylon Burks. Yeah, he's a big, solid physical receiver, but he needs to stay healthy. So yeah, so number one is a pretty good thing, and I might do that because DJ Moore, it's like you're wasting part of his career. Like you got to get him a quarterback. You either got to get him a good enough quarterback.
Every year has been a new quarterback in his career, and he's managed to get over 1,000 every year.
Yeah, like Terry McLaurin. So he's exactly like Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin at a starting quarterback to begin every year. Last year, it wasn't even supposed to be Taylor Heinicke. Ryan Fitzpatrick got injured. And this year it was Carson Wentz. Taylor Heinicke's back in. And he has the most rapport with him because he's the quarterback he's played the most games with. That's fucking ridiculous. And still, he's had more than 65 receptions and over 900 yards every season.
Yeah, and it's not like Heinicke's been lighting up the box scores or
Absolutely not.
But
he's just, I think he might be one of the best route running receivers in the league. Terry McLaurin. He doesn't always come down with like 50-50 balls. Like it's not the greatest thing, but he gets the fuck open. So
that he does.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not starting DJ Moore. Yeah, are you starting DJ Moore? I'm not starting.
I don't have DJ Moore, but I would start DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Darnold has a very, very good connection with DJ, so I expect plenty of targets going his way. And I know that Sam is going to try and get DJ closer to 1K, and he still can get that if he averages 80 yards over the next 5 games. I would start DJ. I would start D'Onta Foreman this week. Expect the Carolina game plan to still be ground and pound.
What about Chuba? What about Chuba?
I don't trust him.
Yeah, I got you.
But Chuba, he might actually be not a bad flex, a bad pickup this week because D'Onta was limited in practice, or he didn't practice today with a foot injury, but he said he will play. But I still expect him to have most of the workload this week.
All right, so Foreman.
But those are the two. But
okay.
Then we got Sunday night, the flex game, going to be an absolutely offensive slugfest here. Miami and the LA Chargers.
It should be a very good game. I'll be entertained by that one. Two very young quarterbacks.
I think this is like the third straight Sunday night game for the Chargers or something. I feel like they've been featured on.
Yeah, it might have just been Thursday night or Monday nights or whatever. Yeah, they've been playing primetime a lot recently, and they've been injured most of it. It's just Austin Eckler and fucking Herbert, and they just do their 2-man game and do the best that they can. Like the saddest thing about it is the Chargers defense is supposed to be good.
Yeah, but they've been hit with so many injuries, and it's just ridiculous.
So
on paper this year, they were like initially at the beginning of the year said, yeah, I'm going to draft the Chargers defense and not drop them because they are supposed to be.
So it's supposed to be. Is Khalil Mack out for the year? So it wasn't Khalil Mack on there.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure.
It was supposed to be Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and just saying
JC Jackson, and they have
JC Jackson was injured a lot.
Yeah.
Melvin Ingram, no, he's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's just sad, their injuries have really taken a toll, and it's really hurt them in the end. But they're still in the playoff hunt, so hopefully they get healthy.
They deserve to be at least this 7th. They deserve to make the playoffs. I think they're good enough, and I think should get a chance. Like Herbert should get a chance to try to make magic happen, kind of like Watson. Like when Deshaun Watson, he won that one game he won it was like almost despite the rest of his team. Like he basically willed him to victory. And you want to see that, for Herbert, because those are the things that make legends. Those are the things that get you to be in the Hall of Famer, and, people having reverence for you. So, he hasn't made the playoffs yet. So we can't say how good he is in the playoffs. People keep saying how good he is, but if he can't get them there,
he's still young. Remember how long it took for Peyton to get to the playoffs initially?
Yeah. I know.
This is only Justin's second year, I believe. Second or third. It's one of them.
This is his third year, I'm pretty sure. Quite sure it's his third year.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and so he should definitely make the playoffs. Josh Allen made it in his second year, and he did some weird shit. You can see the maturation. You see how quarterbacks build up. They start at a certain point, and okay, they're kind of good. Then they might make it to the playoffs. Then they get to that level. Then it's okay, now they're at a certain point where they're going for Super Bowl type of shit. And some people some people get lucky, like Mahomes in their second years or whatever, or Russell Wilson, and then there's kind of anointed early, but some people got to prove it. Shit, Dak's still proving it to me, and if I was a Cowboys fan, he still got to prove it. Deshaun Watson's got so much fucking money. If I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm sitting here you gotta just take this as a wash because he missed so many fucking games. They can't make the playoffs, I don't think.
No, they still have a shot. They have to win out, but they still, it's very, very. They play in a very hard division, defensive division. So the AFC North is ruthless.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, defensively, the Bengals are, offensively terrifying, but yeah, the Ravens and
their defense isn't that bad, but
Ravens and the Steelers don't scare anybody. Yeah, so yeah, the Browns would have to, they're not gonna. I think the Bengals are gonna take over that, and the Ravens are ahead of them too. So they definitely can't catch up in the division. They would have to try to get that last spot. Yeah, you gotta try to get that wild card, and then I don't know how long Lamar's out, but they're another.
They said he was out. I think anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks.
Okay, but they're another team that's, to me, a system with Huntley. Huntley can run, so they're the system of the type of ball they play. They could play it at maybe a 75%, as opposed to 100% with Lamar in there. I think they still got a good defense, and they can win a couple. They might win if they win a game or two while Lamar's out. I think they'll still figure out a way to make the playoffs, because they were just ahead of the Bengals. I think the Bengals are ahead now.
I think the Bengals are ahead.
I think they just caught up because
they're both tied, I believe.
The
Ravens are still ahead.
The Ravens are still ahead by a game, right?
No, they're both 8-4, but the Ravens have a tiebreaker.
Oh, okay.
Because they are 2-0 in the division.
Okay. All right. So there's a few more divisional games, but they probably have to play the Steelers, and I'm sure they'll win. They can win those games with Huntley. So yeah, the Ravens are right there. Then the Browns are going to be there. The Titans are probably going to be.
The Titans are definitely going to be in the playoffs because
all right, they're winning their division, right?
Yeah,
their division is so bad. Yeah,
it's one of the worst divisions every season.
Yeah, and they were number one in the league last year, though. It was so funny. They had the best record. Yeah. They had a bye and home field advantage. Yeah,
and then they threw it all away.
Well, yeah, I mean, their defense isn't prolific enough to pull Tannehill.
No,
yeah, the Ravens, when they had Trent Dilfer and Jamal Lewis, which I could equate Jamal Lewis to Derrick Henry, in those years, as far as being a elite running back. But yeah, the defense is not good enough. Vrabel has not made that defense good enough. They shut down. They beat the Chiefs a few weeks ago, but yeah, they're not a prolific defense like they should be with Mike Vrabel as the fucking coach. So, yeah, Tannehill, they're a wash. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't see what the hell they'll do. Unless Henry.
For them to win games in the playoffs, they're really going to have to play that clock game with Derrick Henry. Run the ball, get like chunks and chunks. Make sure they get like 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and then get first downs and just milk the clock as much as possible. That is honestly their success, or that's I think their key to winning a game in the playoffs.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Their keys, they play all right. Like the Commanders are number 1 in the league in time of possession, right? They're trying to play like that, but the Commanders defense is better than the Titans defense. Even with horrible cornerbacks, just that front 7 is
like I said, when we had our run in 2015, all right, Josh Norman and James Bradbury were our cornerbacks. Josh Norman got paid that year and went to y'all, and then fell off the face of the earth. But that year our front 7 were dominant. So I've always said, if your front 7 is dominant, your cornerbacks don't matter. Like they cover up so much. If the quarterback only has 2 seconds in the pocket, they're not going to be able to get the ball out, and the cornerbacks will, as a result, get paid. Because
that's been inflate. No, and that's how I see our defense. Ron Rivera was doing that, but it's kind of the blueprint that you also saw with John Fox. It's kind of the Panthers thing. It's like have a good front 7.
That's our identity.
Mainly the front 4, the linemen. Like Luke Kuechly is an anomaly. You had Luke Kuechly and Thomas. That you also had great linebackers to go with it. Like, but all of our first round, it's like your line isn't as good as the Commanders line, but the linebackers and the line together was way, way better. Like there's no Luke Kuechly or Thomas Davis. Jamin Davis is decent. He's fast. He's gotten better. But to me, it's just like we got 2 other backups on the line with linebackers. But that being said, I still think they're a better defense than the Titans.
They are.
So I mean, and running wise, the way Derrick Henry's been being shut down, like it's so sad how like one-dimensional like Tannehill has to come with something. They have to come up with a better like game plan this week, because every team seems to be putting like 9 in the box.
Yeah, 9 or 8.
Not 8, like fucking 9. They're just like, all right, we got no safeties. We got quarterbacks guarding the wide receivers, and maybe
we're playing cover 0.
Pretty much, and Tannehill can't beat that. Like he was playing, and when they were number 1, even if say Julio's falling off though, like they still had AJ Brown and Julio Jones. Like it commands some type of respect, and they are obviously better than what they have fucking now. So yeah, Tannehill's definitely nerfed. I'll just talk myself out of starting. Like I was thinking, like, oh, he could have a game back, but Jalen Burks is not gonna be there, and without it, like
he might still be there. There's chances that he'll be there.
Yeah, it could cut. I mean, but I'd say they.
But still, kinda, even with him there, you still shouldn't depend on just Treylon, So.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I'm not so happy about starting Tom Brady against the number 1 defense. So what are we at?
Yeah.
So it's like start Tom against the number 1 defense, or take a chance.
Roll the dice.
Rolling the dice. No victory for the timid. So one Monday night. That's all we got left, right?
So I have a command in my channel. So I just it's an 8-ball command. So I just asked 8-ball, Tom Brady or Ryan Tannehill, and it responded, "You're joking, right?"
Mm-hmm. I mean, but you got to preface it as a fantasy start. I'm not saying who would you rather like have as your quarterback. Those might be people just asking like the goat versus somebody who will never accomplish anything. Like, yeah, anyway. Yeah.
We haven't. I don't think we've gone over who to start in Miami versus the Chargers yet.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't think we did. So yeah, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle definitely this week.
Tua, I guess, and
Tua, yeah.
I don't know if you start Jeff Wilson in the flex, maybe if you have to, but
maybe. Or I mean, because they're in a timeshare with him and Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, right. Mostert had it more last week, but it's so hilarious that both like the starting running back, they're like, let's get all the wide receivers that we can, and then we'll just steal the run game from the 49ers. Like fucking Raheem Mostert was on the 49ers last year, and fucking Jeff Wilson was on them this year and last year.
Got traded after Christian McCaffrey got there.
Yep. So like they both have been starting running backs for the 49ers with Shanahan and that zone blocking scheme, which Mike McDaniels knows a little bit about. So no coincidence, I would say. What's the system?
For the Chargers, you start Eckler, you start Keenan Allen, you start Herbert. Sneaky tight end for this week, I would say. I forgot his name already. Jesus Christ. Who's the tight end? The Chargers tight end?
Mama. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna Google it then. Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett. Yeah.
Gerald Everett.
He does, yeah, he'd be a good start. I would start him. Maybe even Palmer. Somehow Palmer figures out a way to score all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, somehow he does. Mike Williams, I think, is still out. So
DeAndre Carter. Yeah, nobody else.
Yeah, I wouldn't start DeAndre Carter. I can't depend on that guy.
Not without Mike Williams. But I was gonna say Palmer. Said Palmer, right?
Yeah.
Jordan Palmer somehow he gets targets. Absolutely gets targets.
So Mike Williams might be back. He's questionable, and he was limited at practice today. So we'll see.
Yeah. I still I keep reading. This is so funny that one person in the chat, he asked that. It's so funny. It's like, all right, you lost your one viewer.
Like, I swear sometimes, I wish that YouTube or especially for like podcast shows, you should be able to set if you want comments or notifications for sounds, for when things come in. But,
oh right, yeah. Instead of because I would have to have my browser. I'm watching on my phone, but then I would use. Why I didn't see him because I was using my phone to research the question I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Things about to do.
It'd be nice if it had a ding, or,
a ding, like somebody said something. But think about it on a Discord.
Hey, you've got a question.
Think about it on a Discord though. That shit would continually go off.
No, I understand.
They would be like ding, 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 and that would interrupt the. I guess it'd be fine to have a choice to put it on, but I feel like that would just those sounds would get in the way of the recording, But it's also this is. I have a question for what we're gonna do after the season, or if we're just gonna shelf it until next year and then go harder about it, or if you want to. Turn it off season into a regular type of pop culture podcast where we talk about random shit. Let's talk about Kanye.
We'll figure it out.
But all right, do we talk about fantasy basketball? Do we start?
Yeah, no.
Like what other? Well, everything can be technically under the guise of fantasy. We could, all the other things we talk about as far as like X-Men or other random shit, like I see that you're playing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, sir.
When we talking about
we'll figure it out.
That next movie.
I mean, I saw that trailer last week. It looks fun as usual. So
fun as usual, man. It's so funny how far Chris Pratt has come.
Yes, sir. He's playing. I'm pretty sure you might have seen the Super Mario trailers.
Chris
Pratt is playing Mario.
God. I feel like they shouldn't have made the movie. Like,
right?
They could not, because
I guess they had to, because Sonic has a
Sonic made a lot of money.
Well,
but so, Sonic,
they're trying to dip in there.
Sonic's voice has always been like, he was a cartoon voice. He was American. Like, he didn't talk in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mario
does.
They can't, like, it, because of the time period and all the cultural relevance in which we live in nowadays, it would be offensive for him to speak like an Italian or speak like a stereotypical. That's what I'm like, so annoyed. Like, that's how Mario sounded. Okay, like we know that the Japanese use a stereotypical Italian voice, but it was like, it's me, Mario. I want him to talk like this. I want him to talk with broken Italian English. That's what I fucking want. But I'm not gonna get that. He's like, Chris Pratt's gonna be like, oh wow, this is cool. The Mushroom Kingdom. Like, and it kind of annoys me, like they did with the Pokemon movie, like Detective.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I know you're not like a big Pokemon fan, like, but for people that had watched it, I watched it just, out of curiosity. But I was sitting there like, Ryan Reynolds is sitting there being all snarky and like Pikachu. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why is he like?
We all love Ryan Reynolds, but sometimes the role isn't right.
Yeah. And they just stick people down at like some movies they shouldn't have made. And I think it's gonna flop. It's gonna suck, just like the original Mario movie. Some things shouldn't be made into movies, like a game like Halo, which seems like it would be good to adapt to a screen. You don't need to make it like you can never match the depth of that video game. And that's I also get mad with that, because I watch a lot of anime, and anime has the deepest storylines, the craziest it plugs at your heartstrings. So like, to try to turn it into a movie, you can't do that, because what makes you invested is character development and the idea of watching these people go through different emotions, but that takes time. So you can't just like it's hard to like make you. It takes a good writer, but I guess it could be done. But that's why, it's not gonna be a good Dragon Ball Z movie. There's a Naruto movie that's being made right now. It's being edited. It's already been filmed, and they're ready. Like, it's live action, whatever. Like, but anime, it's hard to live action that shit. And I think they needed to wait. I mean, it's easy to jump on it now, because this is like if Marvel started making movies in the 80s and 90s. Like, the second Marvel Comics was popular, they were like, let's just jump on it and make these movies or whatever. But it takes a little bit of time, I think, for people to understand how to make a good movie and a good storyline that keeps people involved, because a lot of these animes they're making is 300 episodes, and they're trying to put it into a 3-hour movie or a 2-hour movie. That's fucking damn near impossible. So,
yeah, we'll discuss what we want to do. Yeah, after the season's over.
Indeed. For now, hopefully next week we'll get more I'm still
we got
mad
one
we
more game to
didn't go
go.
live last week. Yeah, I'm yeah, mad at we didn't go live last week and we didn't put it up. But yeah, good talking to you, bro.
No, we got one more game to go before you log
Oh,
off.
really? There's
Yeah,
another
we didn't
game
do
on
Monday night
Monday?
yet. Yeah.
I asked you.
No, we did Sunday night football.
I'm sorry. I could have swore we got to the Monday night.
No. We just veered off on another topic. I think I guess we got a little bit carried away and confused. But we got the Patriots and the Cardinals from Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah. Rodgers Stevenson. So that's it.
Man, it might be good for you to start Mac Jones this week.
Maybe. I think I might start him.
It might be a good start.
Might be a better start than Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. Talking you into it.
Yeah, I mean it's plausible. I was thinking about it already.
And I know that we said to start Ramondre Stevenson last week, but he didn't fare too well. Right? I think he got like
10
9
points.
or 10 points.
Yeah, like 10 points. I mean, he's still their only running back, the number one running back.
Yeah.
The Cardinals is a worse defense, so I just think it's more susceptible to the run and him
but it's also points. hard to pick and choose a New England wide receiver to start. Because Devontae Parker is back this week. He is available on most waiver wires, but he hasn't been doing much as of late.
Yeah, he had a couple of good games in the season though, but
he's really fallen off.
There are games
where Mac Jones where he throws like 26 for 32 for like 250 yards, but you don't know.
I would assume it would be a game like this with a bad defense. I'd assume that if there was going to be one more good game for Mac Jones and the Patriots, who are actually still very much in the playoff picture.
They are.
This might be the week. Your
playoff hopes ride on Mac Jones.
He could.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to say. I mean, yeah, because it's better than Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady, it's like starting a mediocre quarterback against a number one defense is just a bad plan. As a fantasy owner. So I mean,
and then what's it called? Obviously, you start DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm gonna start Marquise Brown. You probably have to start Kyler.
I think you have to.
If you drafted him, he's probably your number one. So you gotta see. I mean, you might have been good enough and got like a Geno Smith or something, and then you could possibly start them. Like some people even have like Kirk Cousins as a backup, but you probably have to start Kyler. What?
I think there's one person in our league who has both Burrow and Tua. Can you imagine the quandary they go through every week?
I mean, it wouldn't be me. I'd probably trade him. That'd be that's crazy because if you start them on those two players, one of them is guaranteed to have a 25 or more point game. So like that's a good thing for any person that needs a quarterback. I would probably.
I think it's the guy I'm playing this week. Yeah, it's the guy I'm playing this week who has both of them. He's gonna have to figure out who he wants to start.
Yeah.
I would start a decision.
I mean, there might not be a wrong one. That's the same. They could both have good games. Burrow. I would, if you were asking me gun in my head, I'd probably start Burrow.
No, sorry. It's not Burrow. It's Hurts. Sorry. It's Hurts and Tua.
Oh, well, Hurts. I don't even think that's a no-brainer to me. It's kind of like, if we look back, maybe maybe 2 weeks out of the 11, Jalen Hurts, Tua's outscored Hurts. So, I mean, it's a definite Hurts. The Giants defense is not very good. Tua is being exposed. Like, it could be a thing like maybe people just now have more tape on Tua. It could be the thing. It could just have more tape and they're tricking them with their defensive schemes. So Yeah, we say who are the Dolphins playing last week? Who did they lose to? The
Niners.
Right, Niners. Right, yes, number one defense. Yeah, he could very easily have just a good bounce back game. So yeah, it is I get it. It's a small quandary, but I'm not even hesitating. I'm putting in Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I that in that instance, I would absolutely go with Hurts every week as well.
But Burrow, I would definitely have been. I would have been fucking traded Tua. Like, this is why Dubs might if you beat him, he might not make the fucking playoffs. Yeah. Like, if I win and you beat him, like, he's starting Kadarius Toney and Gus Edwards, other shit like that. He could have traded Tua for a much better flex player. You know what I'm saying? Like, like a much better, like, a wide receiver and or running back, and he could have got something for Tua. So I tried to make some trades. I should have made some earlier. Like, I tried to make some, but I guess I was being too selfish with it. But nobody. I'm always in the idea that you make a trade that's in favor of yourself first, in hopes that negotiations begin. That they do a counter, like, to see their thing. But, like, I made like probably 7 or 8 trade proposals, and I got nothing in back in return. I'm like, I guess they don't want these people at all. Like I tried to trade Dalvin Cook multiple times, and nobody has seemed to want. I tried to trade Dalvin Cook straight up for Mike Evans, and didn't take it. That was on Johnny. I was like, all right. Like, I mean, I think this is a pretty even trade. Probably in your favor. I mean, I think Dalvin Cook is a better start than Mike Evans, but it was right after, like, Cooper Kupp got injured. I was like, I need another wide receiver. I had Devin Singletary, whatever. I was like, I can figure this out. But yeah, nobody wanted Dalvin Cook. So yeah. He should have definitely traded him earlier, and hopefully that's his downfall. I would like to make the playoffs. I just don't think without Cooper Kupp I can win. So like, it'll just be fun. Sledding. It'll just be fun to make it. I'd have to like do some. I would have to do waiver wire like magic to try to win. I'd have to like pick some guy. You're never
and to find that defense that will score you 40 points.
Every week. That guy. Yeah, that. I don't think you will. But hey, man, I think we've gone on long enough, bro. This is 2 hours. I'm gonna have to edit some of this down, but so talking to you, bro. See you next week, and hopefully you have more than one viewer.
Remember to like, subscribe, comment.
Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm gonna edit this and put the video up with the intro. Hopefully by tomorrow. So
all right.
Alrighty. Talk to you later, bro.
All right, man.
All right.